When Naren, that is Swamiji, the future Vivekananda, was leaving Dakshineswar, he said to the master that he would visit him again the next Wednesday. And the master asked, "What time?" "At 3:00. The following Wednesday, Swamiji arrived at Dakshineswar at 2:00 and waited outside the gate. He did not come to the master then, as he had promised to see him at 3:00. The master was talking to the devotees in his room. When he was informed that Swamiji was waiting outside the gate, he asked the devotees to wait, and he walked towards the gate. Seeing Swamiji, the master asked, "Hello, Naren. When did you come? Why are you standing here? What happened?" And Swamiji replied, "Sir, I promised you that I would come at 3:00. But I left home early, and when I arrived here I found that it was 2:00. For the sake of truth, I am waiting here." The master was very pleased to hear that. They remained there talking for some time, and then at 3:00, Swamiji went with the master to his room. One day I went to hear Shiva Acharya sing kirtan at Alabazar. Later I reported to the master about a song that I heard there. "Who has sung the precious name of Sri Rama in my ear?" The master said, "Oh, I missed this wonderful kirtan." A few days later, Shiva Acharya came to visit the Dakshineswar temple, and I asked him to meet the master, and he agreed. The master said to him, "Ramlal heard your kirtan and told me about it. Why don't you sing that song for me?" As Shiva Acharya sang, tears began to flow from the master's eyes. Gradually he went into samadhi. The master later asked me to copy that song, and he told Shiva Acharya, "Your singing brings joy to so many people. It is wonderful that you can sing for 4 or 5 hours at a stretch without your voice giving out. God's power dwells in the heart of one who attracts many people and gives to them joy." Shiva Acharya invited the master to visit his village, Bhadrakali, on the western side of the Ganges, and the master agreed. One day Shiva Acharya came with 4 boats decorated with flags, and the master, along with some devotees, went to his place. We sang kirtan on the way. The master was received at the village with garlands, and the people chanted the Lord's name while distributing candy. All the while, the master was in ecstasy. Later, they had a debate at the meeting. Brahmavrata Samadhyayi was a great scholar and logician. The master listened to what he said and observed how he was refuting others' arguments. And all of a sudden, the master said, "Mother, this fellow is arguing too much. He is a dry scholar." Then the master rushed to the scholar, touched his right knee, and said, "What did you say?" And the scholar said, "I didn't say anything," in bewilderment. The master's touch had charged his mind. The master then said, "Just now you were talking about so many things and arguing with people." And the pandit replied, "I was joking with them. Please don't take me seriously." Afterwards, we brought the master back to Dakshineswar. Digambar Banerjee was a poor man from the village of Sihar. One day he brought a rosary of 108 beads, and after sanctifying it with Ganges water and sandal paste, offered it to the master for his blessing. The master returned the rosary to him and said, Repeat the mantram on this rosary and every day chant God's name with drum and cymbals. It will do you good. In this Kali Yuga, God's name is the essential thing. Chanting God's name will bring the results of meditation and worship. By the grace of the Master, Digambar Banerjee became a rich landlord. He used to chant God's name every day according to the Master's instructions and would feed those who joined the kirtan. What love and faith he had for the Master. Vijay Krishna Goswami used to visit the Master, but he was closely connected with the Brahmo Samaj. One day the Master said to him, "Vijay, please come alone one day to see me. I shall tell you something." After some days, Vijay came by himself to Dakshineswar, and the Master told him, "Look, Vijay, your involvement with the Brahmo Samaj does not suit your nature. You are a descendant of Advaita Acharya, a great devotee of the Saint Chaitanya. A fountain of devotion is hidden within. You should be wearing a rosary around your neck, putting marks on your forehead, and chanting the Lord's name. But instead, you are involved with this socio-religious organization. Seeing you in this condition, I feel bad, so I am telling you what is good for you." Vijay then fell at the Master's feet and asked, "Sir, is there any hope for me?" "Of course," said the Master. "Be intoxicated with the name of the Lord, and then His grace will well up within you." Vijay followed the Master's advice, and a great change came over him. He spent most of his time repeating his mantram with a rosary, and he practiced sadhana in many holy places. One day, Vijay visited the Master dressed like a Vaishnava, with rosaries around his upper arms and neck and marks on his forehead and nose. Seeing him, the Master said, "Very good. Your dress suits your nature. You are on the right track. It seems that the Lord's name is bubbling up from within. It has been suppressed for a long time, but now it will manifest itself." Vijay bowed down to the Master and said, "Sir, bless me. Don't push me away. I know you are God Himself acting like a human being." And the Master replied, "The Mother knows everything. I don't know anything. It is the Mother who speaks and does everything through me."